Hey guys, how you doing today? This is Mr. Campbell. We're looking at chapter 15.4, and we're looking at basically what we're going to call this is aggressors invade nations. So we're going to look at Japan, we're going to look at Germany, and we're going to look at Italy. We're going to look at one other country in the middle there. Here's a pretty good political cartoon of the time. I kind of like it. You can see Hitler, you can see Mussolini, and you can see Tojo, who is the military leader of Japan. He works for a guy named Hirohito, and what are they doing? They're kind of dividing up the world. And you can see how they're drawn. That's a pretty good cartoon. So, first country we're going to do, and we're going to go all the way through everything that Japan does. Japan is going to invade Manchuria. So we're going to start over here, and then eventually we're going to do a lot of stuff kind of over here. Alright? And we will talk a little bit about Russia up here at the end of our notes today. Alright, so first thing you need to know is Japan is a what? It's an island. They need stuff, so they attack mainland northern China, aka Manchuria. Mainland northern China. Alright, so there's mainland northern China, the Japanese attack. Why did they invade Manchuria? It's really about economics. Dollar bill, y'all. They need raw materials. They need the metals, really. If Japan is going to industrialize, Japan's an island, it needs to steal metals. And they also wanted to kind of take over any businesses that might be competing with Japan. Japanese aggression. Japan seeks to solve its problem through foreign expansion. They go into mainline northern China in 1931. What are they after? They're after iron and coal. And what are they going to do with iron and coal? Build stuff, make weapons. Important theme here, League of Nations. Says, excuse me, guys, could you please not do that? And Japan says, if you're going to tell us what to do, I quit. And 6 years later, Japan's like, if a little Chinese is good, more is going to be better. I know myself, I can never have enough Chinese food, so they decide to attack. And they attack Beijing and Nanking. We're going to talk about Nanking, really depressing stuff. Japanese troops kill tens of thousands of soldiers and civilians in Nanking, and during that, the Chinese troops are led by Mao Zedong. Remember, Mao Zedong was a communist. He was fighting the nationalists. These two groups are like, I hate you, no, I hate you more, oh my god, you're such a jerk. But then once Japan starts attacking, they're like, hey, best friend, let's attack them. Just an important thing to remember. So you see here, they attack the rest of China. How do the Chinese react? Chinese retreat and set up a new capital. Chinese guerrillas continue to fight. What's really depressing, guys, is the Japanese atrocities in Nanking especially are incredibly bloody, disgusting, troubling. You can see what's going on in these two pictures. Those are lines of bodies. That is a young man about to meet an unfortunate fate. So that's all the notes on China. Know that they took Japan. Japan was taking over China. China is brutally massacred. Now we're going to go to another place. We're going to go to Spain. Spain was a monarchy and then a republic. So you get another unstable democracy here. All right. The army leaders want a fascist-style government. The general Francisco Franco, is a fascist. FFF. Watch your mouth. FFF. Watch your mouth. All right. And he's getting help from Hitler and Mussolini. They win the war. In 1939, Spain becomes a fascist dictatorship. Some of the art of the time period. So, again, Franco, if you look on his Facebook page, he's BFFs with good old Adolf and Benito Mussolini and Adolf Hitler. Here's some art of the time period. That's weird. Why didn't that go away? Nice. Why did Franco win? Franco won because Western democracies remain neutral. In fact, a group of American boys snuck to Spain to fight for the Republic while Hitler and Mussolini are giving direct aid. So obviously Hitler plus Mussolini plus Franco equals win. And then if you subtract any help from Britain, you subtract any help from America, obviously Franco's going to win. So we're going to be aggressive again. Our boy Mussolini is going to be aggressive. He's going to invade Ethiopia. The Ethiopian Empire asked the League of Nations for help. You know what the League of Nations does? Italy, you're being bad. Stop it. And Mussolini goes, I can't hear you. I hate you. Kiss my butt. And they do nothing. Worse yet, Britain, who controlled the Suez Canal, let Italy keep going back and forth through to keep the peace. Basically opening the door. Here, you want to attack them? Go ahead. Not a proud moment in leadership. Mussolini's triumphs, you see it here. Where is Ethiopia? There it is. Where is Ethiopia? There it is. Alright. Again, the idea being a little bit for Italy to have control of this shipping area. Why did Britain and France do nothing? They wanted to keep the peace. So, Spain goes fascist. Italy, fascist, attacking. Japan, attacking. Let's go to the ultimate bad guy, Germany. Germany and Hitler. Hitler begins a series of steps that are going to lead to war. He built German military against the Treaty of Versailles. He entered the Rhineland, a buffer zone between Germany and France. And Britain and France choose appeasement. They give in to the demands to keep the peace. This is like if you have a son and you go grocery shopping with that son. And every time you go grocery shopping, they're like, ooh, give me this, give me this, give me this. Give me those cookies, give me those Legos. And you buy them just to make them happy. Even though you really don't want to buy it for them, you're giving in for them to be quiet. That's appeasement. Alright? What does this do as Britain and France keep giving in to Hitler? It makes him look even more powerful to the Germans. Holy cow, nobody's standing up to him. Makes him more prestigious. And he forms an alliance with Italy and Japan. So we get the first team kind of created in World War I, or from World War I now into World War II, the Axis power. Again, what does Hitler do? First he takes the Rhineland, then he takes Austria and the Sudetenland. But the Czechs ask for help. This leads to the Munich Conference, and that's a meeting of Germany, France, Britain, and Italy. Hitler is told at this meeting, you can take the Sudetenland, but don't take anything else, please, Mr. Hitler. We'll buy you those cookies, we'll buy you those Legos, just don't ask for anything else, don't be naughty. Less than 6 months later, Hitler goes, yeah, I'm going to want the rest of Czechoslovakia. Soon after, Mussolini seeing this, he's like, well, if they're not going to stop him, they're going to stop me. He seizes Albania. Ladies and gentlemen, who are in the Axis powers?
Germany! Italy! Japan!
Are they the good guys or the bad guys, Shane? Ladies and gentlemen, that was a guest yell by my son Shane. I hope you enjoyed it. He was giggling the whole time. Here's the idea. Hitler believed that he was destined to deliver a Third Reich, the new German Empire. Here's what like Germany looked before. He takes Rhineland first. He takes Austria second, and then the Sudetenland third. At this point, they have the Munich Conference. First, he marches into the Rhineland. Called the Rhineland because of the Rhine River. Marches in there. Rhineland. R. And then he absorbs Austria and Czechoslovakia into the Third Reich. Basically, what is he taking? German-speaking lands. Lebensraum. We need living space. He's taking back lost territory. And you can see that on the map there. Alright. Just a quick mention, I'll point it out later. Notice all the way out here is Russia. And we'll talk about why that's important later. Nobody says anything. He takes the Rhineland. Nobody says anything. Hitler's like, cool, I can do this. I'll keep going. But when he goes and he tries to take over the Sudetenland, this is the meeting. This is the meeting where the British dude, Neville Chamberlain, says, excuse me, Hitler, we'll give the Sudetenland to you, but can you promise not to take any more? Famously, Chamberlain showed up to this meeting with an umbrella because there was a light rain. And the German citizens are like, oh my God, look at this kind of weakling. He's soft. He's going to let that little bit of rain bother him. And it was used in German propaganda. Hitler didn't care about the rain. He marched in, got what he wanted, and left. And then at the next meeting, Or the next day, Chamberlain flies home and says, look, I've got peace in our time. People originally treat Chamberlain like he's a god. Oh my God, he saved the world. There's not going to be a war. Why were they giving in? Why were they bending over backwards? So many countries didn't want another world war because another world war led to too many deaths. Also, they thought communism was a bigger threat. Their eyes were somewhere else. And last and least, they had no energy for it. They were dealing with their own Great Depression, so they want it. So what is appeasement? Giving dictators what they want. Where did we see it? Japan attacks Manchuria. Nobody says anything. Italy invades Ethiopia. Nobody says anything. And Hitler invades the Rhineland and Austria. Nobody says anything. Some of the other reasons the Munich conflict was unsuccessful, the Czechs weren't invited, and Chamberlain believes he could preserve peace by giving in. But as you guys know, if you give in to a child, you say, here's your Legos. As soon as you're on target, what does he say? Hey, let's buy more Legos. I'm just speaking theoretically. Here's a famous cartoon. Remember, one more lollipop, and then you all go home. Notice the guy in the middle is the appeaser, and he's giving in to the monster. Next, Hitler says, you know what? I want Poland. But who's on the other side of Poland? Russia. So I've got to make a deal. Let's make a deal. And the deal he makes is France and Britain had asked Russia to help them stop Hitler. So Russia talks to him. The Soviet Union talks to him. He talks to all three countries. And after talking to him, he makes a deal with Hitler. And Hitler and Stalin agree to not fight each other and then to split up Poland. Because remember, Germany's here. Poland's there. Poland is there. And Russia's here. So if Germany takes all of Poland, they're face to face with Russia. So by making a peace treaty, they kind of split it in half. This is a bad relationship. This is going to last shorter than the Kardashian basketball player marriage, whoever that dude was. Brooke Lopez or whoever that was. It's not going to last that long. Why did Stalin sign an agreement with fascist Germany once a bitter enemy? He wanted to avoid war with Germany. He was just taking over. He didn't want a war. So what does the United States do? We're isolationist. We stay out. By 1935, America's passing neutrality laws. Made it illegal to buy or sell anything with the countries in the war because that's what got us in World War I. The policy that prevented the United States from becoming involved in foreign entanglements to keep the peace is called isolationist. We'd gotten burned by putting our hand on the stove in World War I. We're not going to do it again. Yeah, notice this cartoon? It's by Dr. Seuss. I was weak and run down. I had circles under my eyes. I had a foul case of appeasement. And then I learned about guts. Dr. Seuss is criticizing appeasement here. He's saying, America, don't be the wimpy little America. Be the brave eagle. I felt strong enough to punch Hitler right in the snoot. But what does America really do? We pass 3 neutrality acts that basically keep us out of foreign entanglement. Why? Number 1, the Great Depression. Number 2, seemed like World War I was a waste of time and a waste of lives. And there was this convincing nature that who got us in World War I? Businessmen. The only people who benefited from World War I were businessmen. Why would we do that again? And there's this growing sense of pacifism. Again, didn't want to get involved in another war in Europe. Last, who are the Axis power? Japan, Italy, Germany. Who did Japan attack? China. Who did Italy attack? Ethiopia, and then eventually Albania. Who did Germany attack? Russia. Not Russia, I'm sorry. The Rhineland, Austria, Sudetenland, eventually Czechoslovakia. And remember, Germany eventually makes a little peace with Russia. A short-lived peace. Alright? So those are our notes for 15.4. Please remind your friends to watch it. Test coming up. Deuces, people. Deuces. Hey, Shane, come here. Say goodbye to everybody. Shane Campbell's going to say goodbye.